Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie, and we give you a warning. We've both been yawning.
Yeah, it's Mondays. Y'all just stick with us. It's supposed to be contagious, so if we make y'all yawn.
Seriously, just try it in a doctor's office, see what happens.
Even if a dog yawns,
then it's over for everyone.
I'll yawn too.
It goes from one extreme to the next. It just can't be helped.
Wesley, we hope that you're all right just in there watching from a doctor's office, so hopefully just getting a checkup. We're with you. We'll send a prayer your way.
And those doctor's office, just sitting and waiting, anticipation is not good.
You know, I told you we had to take Mama to Jackson for a doctor's appointment over there for a neurologist. And the appointment was at like 10.
When you really get in, though?
When me and Charlene, we left here, we got there. We walked in like 5 minutes to 10. We signed in at 10 o'clock. The doctor himself came out and got us. We went back there, did our deal, got out. We were sitting down eating lunch at 11 o'clock.
Well, weren't you special?
I had to go to Jackson.
Look, I love Dr. Henderson to death, but we all know if you go see Dr. Henderson, about if your appointment's at 12, at 3 you may go back.
That's because everybody goes down there.
Boy,
yeah.
Something about sitting and waiting. Love him to death there. Someone learned a valuable lesson in New Jersey this weekend. Yeah. Number one, it's disgusting. But a bus driver, he's trying to make a living, an unruly guy who was probably, we're stretching the truth here because we weren't there and don't know, may have been under the influence of something, but used the restroom on his leg. The bus driver, the passenger did that. I don't think the passenger will ever do that again because he didn't wait to go, wait a minute, I've got to call 911. He picked him up, slammed him to the ground, and taught him a lesson.
And if we had more of that, I think it would help society as a whole.
It's one of those things, the timeout thing just doesn't work.
No, we
tried. You go sit in a corner, we'll give you a little hat, and you wait. People, it's like the bully on the parking lot. If he's not shown what will happen, he will continue to take your lunch money. Every day he'll come back.
Until you pop him in his nose.
And how do you do that? You cast a vote come November. Whatever's on the ballot, if you don't agree with it, that's how you get an even score.
That's it.
We got some bullies on the parking lot, on the playground right now, don't we?
We got some thieves on the parking lot right now. They're not just bullies.
Nationwide, it's that way.
Yeah. Man. But, hit them where it counts.
And those votes will do that. We've got a couple of Americans missing after a boat capsized. I hate to see that happen. That one person died in it. I hate to see anything like that. Now, there's a lot going on locally that we're going to get into here in just a moment, as we'll talk about everything that went on. You don't mess with firemen in our neighborhoods. We'll find out what happens with that.
You talk about a family. That's a family. Fire, police.
That's correct.
Law enforcement stick together.
I wanted to bring this up. This would have been if you were out early this morning traveling I-20 westbound in Meridian, just across the state line. I believe this was around mile marker 169. That's just barely into Mississippi.
Oh, that's right there, yeah.
We had a fire. The volunteer fire department had to go out. The sheriff's department also. Eventually, the highway patrol would get there from another wreck that they were working. But here's a picture of it, Odie. That just really says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's an awful lot of words you can see out of that.
Yep, new car.
Man.
But
well, that's one.
That's what I'll say.
That won't buff out. David, I don't care how good you are. You can't buff that out.
Now, what would cause this? We don't know what sparked it. It looks as though, am I looking at this right, Odie? You look at that picture, that's their items on the ground away from the car.
Yeah, that looks like where they tried to get some luggage out.
I think I'd have drug it a little bit further there.
Yeah.
That old heat will melt. I remember when the accident happened on I-59 there, that tanker truck, I was a quarter mile, and when I cracked the door to my Tahoe, you could feel the heat. That stuff's strong.
It is. And that's why we stopped traffic so far back. And because there was a chance that there was an explosion, and we didn't need any cars to drive through there while that was going on.
No injuries. That's what's good on that.
Yeah.
But one of those things that went thump in the middle of the night. Those things do happen there. We got a lot to talk about this morning. I hope you'll join us. We had, did you get a chance to go to church yesterday? I hope everybody did. If you didn't, don't forget Wednesday night church services will happen again. I always think of Monday morning, that line that Alan Jackson had in that song, my heart is as empty as a Monday morning church.
Ooh.
Boy, that says a lot, doesn't it?
It really does. That is, talking about church. And we got this coming up next month.
What
I'm
we
just
got?
going to throw you a snippet. The end of next month, College Park Methodist host, and I think it's 3 or 4 different churches that come together and put this on, and we use our parking lot or
Evangel Temple helps with that, don't they?
The Evangel Temple doesn't.
I thought they did.
But we will host the Bible reading where we open up the Bible and start on page 1, and it's read 24 hours a day until it's done. And that usually starts Wednesday morning, and we finish sometime Saturday afternoon. We got a couple preachers that'll be on here next month to explain that.
That's
so if
good.
you want to do some reading, get in touch with us. We'll put you in contact with the right person to do that. But reading the Bible from start to finish without stopping, oof,
Good stuff.
that's good stuff.
We'll be right back, Scotty Ray and Odie, as we start Monday morning, if you hadn't discovered it yet.
Yeah,
Just-
you know it is because you feel it in your bones.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
The selection is always changing at Massey Supermart Auto Sales with low-mileage cars and trucks. How about a 2022 Jeep Wrangler? Or a 2021 Honda Ridgeline Sport with only 40,000 miles. A GMC Denali. Or a 2024 Silverado 2500. Drop in today and find the car that you're looking for. They're packed with low-mileage cars and trucks.
The low profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and this is Odie. We want to bring this up because important. Lauderdale County Deputy Dan Boyd, his wife has got cancer, a very serious form of this, and it's spread. He's taken off work for at least 8 to 10 weeks or maybe longer, and he's down in Florida with his wife as she gets treatment. They're doing a concert, as he has worked for Newton County before. Great guy. Todd Tillman's going to be doing a concert to benefit Tiffany, and that's Dan's wife. This is going to happen. What's the date on it? September
14th. And now look, this is $20 a seat. You're not going to get anything like this. One, who it is singing, and two, what this is going to support for $20. And there's only 800 tickets available. So you better go ahead and get this now. Don't wait and say, look, I've got a month. Don't wait. Go ahead and get your tickets now to do this and support. And this man puts his life on the line for each and every one of us. He has for Lauderdale County, Newton County. And now his wife and him need us. So
There's also the same day is going to be, and I got it in my phone somewhere, going to be a barbecue plate selling at the volunteer fire department to benefit them the same day there in Decatur, if I am not mistaken.
That'll work.
I'll look all that information up and get it ready. But if you can attend, they would appreciate it.
do that. And Terry, there is somewhere, and we'll find out exactly. Can you donate at Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office? I'm sure they're not going to say no, but I don't know if it's there or if there's a bank set up. But we'll find that out.
Oh, they'll get it to the
And,
right person. You go in the sheriff's department.
Yep, and definitely let you know.
Edna take care of you. She'll probably be the first person that you see when you walk in.
Where do you get tickets? You can get tickets.
At the door. Yeah, purchase at the door.
It says purchased at the door. We'll find that out for sure too, because there should be a number where we can call and get.
Jody,
get
where are you
tickets.
this morning?
Yeah, we'll find that out. So I'm going to make a note right now.
Questions that Scotty Ray didn't answer is what he's writing down over here.
Yeah,
I got to ask.
we're going to find that out, and donations.
Yeah.
We're going to do that because, hey, inquiring minds need to know.
Yes, sir. That'll be a good thing. So if you can help out with that, we would appreciate it. Now, some news that broke this weekend was that there had been an arrest of a councilwoman's husband. That is true. As we pull up the story this morning, domestic violence charges, we see that Meridian Police Department responded to a domestic violence call. This was late Saturday evening. Tony Lindsay would be arrested and charged with simple assault / domestic violence. He was booked into the jail at 7:42 p.m. He is the husband of Councilwoman Taisha Bell Lindsay. That is the truth. We weren't there. We don't know what went on. We will not pretend that we know. There's no way to know. But what we can tell you that there was an arrest made. Very serious charge by any means to have that charged against you. I think today bail will be set before a judge, and we'll find out what goes from there. What charges stick. But that's what the arrest was. We'll see what happens before the judge later today.
We're going to wait because nobody knows. It's just like we've said on other things. There's 3 sides to every story. Side 1, side 2, and the truth.
What happens in the middle?
What happens in the middle. So hopefully that will come out, and whatever happens, that no matter what, domestic violence is a serious deal that, man. For all involved.
That's what we know at this point. There was a big fire in Kemper County last night. If you were Highway 16 by the landfill, volunteer fire department were all on the scene on this, Odie, as they went right there through the landfill, through the gate to get to where the fire was. Forestry was called in, and at some point it was turned over to the Forestry Commission to finish getting out. No homes were threatened. This was a very rural area in between there and the East Mississippi Sportsman hunting grounds. So no one was hurt, no one was injured. But again, it did not threaten any homes because it was the rural route of where that was. Now, the next thing that we need to talk about, Odie, and again, we don't want to by any means add anything to this because we just don't know. Let me get here a picture as we get over here. I'm trying to get to a scene to where you'll recognize where this is. Right here, let's pull this picture up. This is in Briarwood Estates. If you're going down Highway 39 toward the naval base, this is the subdivision that was originally there next to Eagle Point. Down in this curve here is that large white fence. There was a body. It wasn't a body to begin with. CPR was given yesterday, and someone would pass away. They had the coroner out. Stella was there. Meridian Police Department. I want to say in the end, the Sheriff's Department even showed up with assistance on this. A 20-year-old is what we know at this point. This is, and I'm trying to, what is the word for what type of home this is? What's the word for it, Odie?
Like a halfway home.
To where we'll word it to where I don't want this to sound ugly. I'm just trying to work it out in my head how to say it.
A group home, halfway home.
That helped people that had some.
You don't need to be in a facility, but you can't be. You can't live by yourself.
Right. And then there was a little mental issues with this, and there's a word. That's what I was trying to think of, a word that described that, and for some reason I'm just blank on that of how to word that. But and he was found deceased. There's a lot of talk going on. We will leave it at this point as suspicious because we don't know any more than that. There's been no charges whatsoever. They are investigating. It was not one of those things where they come in and go, closed case. It was natural causes.
Well,
so they've got special needs. That's the word. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. And for the life of me, I couldn't come up with that. Special needs is the word to use on this. A 20-year-old, that's mighty young to pass away. We all know that.
yeah.
So we will see what becomes of this. But the thing is, as Odie just pointed out, how many people even knew that this was in that subdivision? And how many are there in Meridian? You know, we had the incident, a year and a half, 2 years ago, where the elderly woman was found deceased in a home, and it sounded like abuse to me there. Now, we're not saying that happened here. We're waiting to find out. But there are more of these in our community that I had no idea that existed. You know, what are the laws? And if I read this right, looking up on land deeds, this is owned by a company. This is not an individual that is running this. This is a major company that has bought that piece of property, and then they'll bring in 3 to 4 people, I guess, to rotate to help take care of them.
I guess charging the state for
They get
the
paid.
care of that. So it's kind of like the prison. You know, the state doesn't own the prison. It's owned by another
Company.
corporation, and then we pay this corporation to take care of the prisoners. In my eyes, that's something that needs to be state-run, government-run, a prison,
Yeah.
as long as it can be done correct. And I think that's why we led to go to a private company, because there were some issues there. But
You know, and then the next question is, how often are they checked in on by the state? I don't know that they are. You would think they are, but how often is that to make sure that conditions are okay? With anything, things can be abused. And we're not, again, saying that this is the case. We're just saying that it's looked into and that we were not aware that there were so many of these throughout our communities. We'll say this because this is also being looked at when people get out of prison. There are homes that are private to where these people go to in communities to live until they get readjusted to society. Is that the word?
that's one way to put it.
But
Yeah.
you could have one of those next to you. It ought to be just like any other thing, to where if there's a sex offender within 20 miles, there's a map that shows this is in that neighborhood. I feel that is the right thing to do. Am I wrong?
It should be, because this also came up over there in North Hills not too long ago.
Yes, sir.
Where we had a major issue.
Murder, I might say.
Well, just go ahead and say like what it is, and that's exactly it—a home invasion. And the guy lived in one of these types homes.
That had just gotten out of prison. It was
Just
a way
gotten out
to
of prison.
reintroduce them to society, a halfway house, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I'm just not sure that our area is aware of that. As we found out on all of that, people were being just dumped prisoners as they got out at a train station with no phones and no way to order a ticket because there's nobody there. Now that's being fixed. Our state representatives have gotten on that to where they were standing around waiting for somebody to walk by with a phone to be able to buy a ticket out of town. So what does that do? A lot of times they just start roaming the streets.
Looking for something.
And not saying that person hasn't done their time and they're rehabilitated. We don't want to lean that way, but it does make you a little uncomfortable that somebody got out that had gotten really good at what they done, honed their skills, so to speak.
Well, when I was in the Navy, and we went on they called it a 6-month cruise, but you were never home before 7.5 months. For a couple of weeks before you got home, you had to go in and sit in some seminars, and they talked to you about reintroducing yourself back into your family. You know, your wife or your better half has been running things for 7.5 months. You can't just jump in and say, no, we're not going to do it this way. We're going to do it that way.
Odie's
Because
trying to
she's
tell
done
you
that.
he lost a boat one time
Yeah.
while he was gone.
So for our military personnel that's only been gone 6.5, 7.5 months, they take you and try to get you back oriented into what society is. But yet we have people who spend 5, 10 more years in prison, and then we just let them out without trying to go through a class. And I don't know, because I ain't never been to prison. I don't know if they do or don't do that, but that's something that they should try and get them through a class to reintroduce them into what society is now. You imagine 20 years ago what society was, and then you go into prison and you come out into the mess that we're in now? That's a lot of a change.
Yeah, I've never been to prison, but I did listen to a Johnny Cash album one time.
He went, didn't he?
I learned a lot from that.
Folsom Prison is
We'll be right back.
Working on a big project? Need reliable equipment? Parrish Tractor has you covered. From skid steers to excavators, tractors to trenchers, we have top quality equipment for rent on a project-to-project basis. All our equipment is expertly maintained for peak performance, ensuring you get the job done right. Our team is here to help you choose the perfect machinery for your needs with flexible rental terms to fit any project. Call us or visit ParrishRents.com to rent your equipment today. Come see us at Parrish Tractor, where we're more than a tractor store.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows,
call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
John made the statement a lot of people become institutionalized. And I could just hear Morgan Freeman saying that from the movie.
Shawshank Redemption.
Glad you said that name.
Yeah. Oh, look
at
there.
I remember him saying it there.
I'm not a felon, but I'm going to vote for one. And now, Wesley, thank you so much for your service. He's a Gideon. And they go and pass out all these Bibles. Awesome deal. And thank you for doing that and being a part of that.
Now that you brought that up, because it's been quite some time. I used to travel a lot, but had to get us back on our feet at home. Do they still put Bibles in motels?
Yes, sir.
Are they still in them?
Yes, sir. As long as that hotel allows.
Will accept it.
But yes, sir, they are in there.
And what about
schools?
And I try to stay away from hospitals. Do they still, that first drawer still have a Bible in it?
I'm sure it is. I'm just about sure. Wesley, you can fill us in on the on that part.
It's a good cause.
They go to the elementary schools and pass out little Bibles.
What was that? What was the story? Was it World War I or World War II where the guy had the Bible in his pocket?
And it saved his life.
Yeah, and it stopped the bullet in the pages.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong there. Saturday night, I got a little busy as I had to head out into the darkness of the night. And what did I come upon as we go here? Whoop, we've had a robbery. There we were, live on the scene there, Odie, from 5th Street.
We're going to start a GoFundMe for you a new hat.
Well,
one of them there bulletproof cowboy hats.
I didn't know, and I did you see what them things cost?
Yeah, that's why I said we need a GoFundMe, $3,000
for a bulletproof cowboy hat.
And it didn't even have a chin strap.
No, sir. What would a bulletproof cowboy hat weigh?
Enough. Well, what does that bulletproof vest weigh?
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy there. Here's where I was. Now, this used to be the old Cameron's to where they used to do
they
lunches.
had some good food.
Yeah, I've eaten there many, many times, as you can see in the background. And I would play this, but I'm talking. It's got the audio with this, and I didn't edit it down. But the Meridian Police Department arrived on scene. I got there shortly after. A gunman walked in with a gun, took cash, and fled the scene. No one was hurt, no one was injured, but still a serious situation. This again is I was speaking at a church last week, and I gave the 3 places that are the most dangerous in Meridian. The 3 in order of the crime. Number 3 now is Highland Park, where that used to be number 1.
Yeah.
That area that has taken a back seat. Number 2 is going to be North Hills, crime-ridden, and the number 1 area is going to be Highway 19, from I-20 to College Park and east and west of Highway 19, whatever you want to call it, Highway 11 or Airport Boulevard or College Park. It's got like 10 names. But everything east and west of there, down that middle strip there, by 5 to 6, 7 blocks, has high crime. That is the big, and this is where this was. Is where this happened. Now, again, no injuries, and I was standing there giving the report, and I finished up, and I looked around, and I was the only one standing on the street corner.
Everybody else says, this ain't safe.
Thought, man, I might get mugged. The police even left. so I left, too. That is what went on Saturday night. As soon as I left there, Odie, I had to go to a shooting. As a matter of fact, there would be 2 as we go here live on the scene. This is going to be right behind Tractor Supply, and I won't play the audio as I'm talking on this one as well. This is the apartment complex directly behind Tractor Supply.
Yeah,
behind
Mosby Road,
yes.
right there. Yeah,
break time, where that is.
the old superstar.
Gunshots would ring out. No one was hit, but and it took me a minute to find it because I got a phone call, and a lady that called me was rather upset, and I couldn't understand the address where she was telling me she was, where the gunshots had just happened. So I was a little late getting there because I thought it was another location that I went to first, and then it hit me in her description where she was. So I turned around and went back. After that shooting, 2 hours later, Odie, it would happen once again, as the Meridian Police Department would be back on scene for more gunshots. Fortunately, in all of this, no one was injured in any of this. Now, as you can see there, anybody could get hit with gunfire shot anywhere in there.
The one thing that comes to mind
The
in
leaks
that
and Tractor
apartment
Supply's
complex
roof.
and stuff. Well, no, look at the amount of kids, innocent
Yes, sir.
kids, that are in there trying to get some rest to go to school the next day, and then that erupts, and it's what they have to grow up in.
And
As
usually
kids.
it's a visitor to an apartment complex that rolls through that causes these problems. Is some of it gang related? Absolutely. I'd be sitting here lying. Do I have that in writing, or somebody that come up to me and said, "Hey, I'm in a gang," and I thought no, but it doesn't take all that much smarts
so
to
what
figure
you're
it out.
saying is, if you've got common sense and can deduct and make sure 2 and 2 equals 4, you could come up and say, "Hey, I have actually figured out that's gang related."
That is.
Okay.
There you go there. If your name is Pamela and you have lost your debit card, let me tell you where to go. Call them at Domino's. They have your card. They contacted me last night and said they had found it there. You can give them your last name. They've got the card, and they'll fill you in how to get that back. But that's kind of a scary feeling. We've all reached down in your pocket, and your wallet is not there.
Where did I have it last? Oh, yeah, if you ate pizza last night.
I might have been in Lowe's one time and went to reach in my pocket to pay for something and realized it was on my dresser.
I wanted to get more to the story, and I don't know if this is something that you've got.
What's that?
Because I don't know exactly where it was, but there was a guy who stole a dead man's identity and went to a car lot to buy him a new car.
With the dead man's identity?
With the dead man's identity.
I hope he had good credit.
Well, they doesn't matter if they did or not,
Yeah,
because
okay.
they found out pretty quick who it was and that it was false. So they went through the whole thing while they waited for the police to show up. They made a big deal out of it and took video of him. "Thank you for shopping, and you're getting your brand new car. Oh, it's so great. Here's your keys." He took the keys, and the police says, "We'll take them now."
That's a pretty good story.
That's a pretty good little deal there, yeah.
Let's do this before we go to another break. Clarke County yesterday, I'd actually started to Clarke County going to this fire, and then we had the incident in Meridian. I slowed down with the death, and I went back to the death. And I called our friends at Clarke County Hot Topics and talked to them. I want to show you this. Let me show you this picture right here. You see that, Odie?
That's a shank.
Yeah, that's a shank. And a firefighter had that brought against them by someone who was there who was mad because they didn't get there faster.
Oh.
And that's what you would call trying to harm a fireman, would it not be?
I just want to let y'all know that if you walk up to a normal person and you do something to him, that's a misdemeanor. A fireman, volunteer, career, it doesn't matter, along with law enforcement, that now becomes a felony.
And here we go as we bring you a picture live from the scene, spending the night in the Barriott, who will now face a judge this morning. Linda Thompson was arrested there at that structure fire at Shadowwood Apartments in Quitman. She is charged with simple assault on a fireman. Bond will be set today. And again, upset from what I understand at the scene that the fireman had not gotten there. No one was hurt. Doesn't matter. And there's a lot of firemen that may have handled that situation a lot different.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure coming out of those hoses, and somebody comes at me, I'm going to stop you one way or another. That will move you a few feet.
It will definitely move you back. But that's a felony. It can be a felony.
Yeah. No one hurt there, thank goodness. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it was 2 apartment complexes that were hurt there. Not hurt, but destroyed by fire.
Well, if you want the volunteer fire department to respond quicker to your house or your neighbor's house, and you don't like the response time, join the fire department and help them get there quicker.
That's correct. That's the way to do that. And y'all got to remember now, no one's making money. This is their free time. They were doing something at their home, and they had to stop, change clothes, and come to help you. That's all about there. Yep. Scotty Ray and Otis, also known as Odie Bear,
will be back.
Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your trustworthy Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954.
Just $41 a month for this new Brother embroidery machine. Buy it local and get instructions for life, service, financing, the lowest price guaranteed, and take it home today at the Sewing and Vacuum Center in Meridian and So Select in Flowood and Hattiesburg.
As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts. And America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church. And nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Tractors are us as we get ready for deer season. 1895, my grandfather was being born. That same year, this guy was checking out because, well, he made the mistake there. Odie, what'd he do?
Well, he was a little bit in the middle of all the original gangs, I guess you could say.
Yeah, he'd be one
that's
of the,
where some of that started.
Yeah. Never ever sit with what?
Well, you're back to the door.
Because it got him. John Wesley Harden was killed. He was shot in the back by an off-duty officer. Now, I didn't know back in 1895 they even clocked in or out. I thought pretty much you were just, Matt Dillon never clocked out.
No,
But John Wesley Harden was killed on this day.
Yeah.
A bad man. Make no mistake, that man was bad. 1944, who do you know in Mexico? I could hear her banging on the pots and pans. Eddie Raven was born on this day back in 44. Joe sure knows how to live. A letter to you, bye you boys. 35 singles. Number one, I got Mexico.
17 consecutive top 10s.
He was good. Eddie Raven was something to deal with during the 80s. You ever heard I Can See Clearly Now?
Now the rain is gone.
Yeah, we can carry tunes, but we like to bother
We can
people
sing
just the
anyway.
same.
I bet that woke half y'all up. I bet Michael Ray's up now. I bet that woke him up.
1940, Johnny Nash was born this day. And, of course, Tears on My Pillow was his second song there. But that was I Can See Clearly Now. That just, everybody knows that song.
That's what they were saying Friday afternoon, wasn't it?
Yes. Woof. 1942, this is one of those guys, his voice is, you know, immediately when you hear his voice. You heard him in the tower there of, he even dated Lori Morgan one time. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, make no doubt. I mean, we give it to him. But Fred was born. Fred Thompson, he's a former U.S. Senator there. And, of course, he was there in the Line of Fire. He played in that, and he was also in Die Hard.
Well, not only that, but he was also in Days of Thunder. He played
I forgot.
over NASCAR.
Sure was, where they were wrecking each other going down the
I
road.
expect y'all to make it to this dinner. And they stopped and got in a second rental car and raced the whole way there.
I have forgotten that he was in that, Odie. Good memory.
That's it.
Yeah,
I
we
did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That's what he said. Did you believe him?
No, there was proof, wasn't it?
Yes. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, boy.
1946, Stain on the Presidency was born. He was, I mean, you go back and you look at Hillary starting. She had a command post to destroy women that said anything against him. A command post.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at how many people's dead.
I've heard stories.
Yeah, boy.
We say salute to a Mississippian who has done well. Gerald McCraney was born on this day in 1947.
That's the best Dodge they ever made.
It was the Power Wagon. Major Dad, Simon, and he was even in Yellowstone, if you'll recognize that from that scene there.
Oh,
He took out Branch, if you remember. That was supposed to be his son in the movie.
Yep.
Branch didn't do what Daddy liked, and, well, he didn't make it.
Oops.
That's tough, isn't
That's
it?
tough.
I'm moving on. Oh. Who remembers Hank Snow?
Boy.
I just still remember that line from Smokey and the Bandit when he makes that collect call home. No, I ain't kin to Hank Snow. There's a lot of people that go, Hank who now?
Yeah, huh?
Hank Snow.
What?
He was a Canadian that made it real big. And I've been everywhere, man. He was the first one who did that. Johnny Cash, again, would come along and
I
make
couldn't
that.
sing that if I had every city and state listed.
Do you have to? Do you realize how fast that is?
Oh, I mean, he spits it out.
Now, I didn't know that Thompson dated Elizabeth Taylor, too. Everybody else did.
I didn't know he was that old.
I mean, she got around.
She did.
She was kind of like running around. So married, what, 8, 9, 10 times?
Oh, something like that. Shannon said that wasn't Yellowstone. What was that movie that Major Dad was in?
He was in Yellowstone. Oh, no. You're right. That was, we talked about it a minute ago. Branch and all of them in Longmire.
Longmire.
Hello. Thanks for straightening me out.
Yeah.
Longmire.
Even Austin threw up in there. Yeah.
Greatest
Longmire.
Western TV show of all time lately in the last 20 years, truthfully. Pretty Boy is where we go next. There's no other way I can word this. He thought he was Pretty Boy. Am I right?
Yeah, I didn't watch much of it.
I didn't either. But y'all remember this guy, John Stamos? He was Pretty Boy Jesse from Full House. It is okay to call somebody a pretty boy, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's what he called himself.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, are you?
I called them pretty boys.
It was.
That's the only way I know it. One of the most prettiest women and countryest thing that ever hit country music happened today. I'll think of a reason later to hate her.
But right now there ain't one.
What woman hadn't thought that? She wakes up one morning, looks at the newspaper, and guess who's getting married? Her ex. And she starts drawing lines on the old girl's face. She'll think of a reason later. Leanne Womack was born on this day back in '66. She had a lot of great songs. Of course, I Hope You Dance. That would be her biggest song, which would in the end ruin her career because they tried to make her non-country. And she was as country gets.
Oof.
But a beautiful woman nonetheless. 1968, I didn't see this, and I didn't see the
Hey, we're for the monkey.
I didn't watch it in reruns. That was a little bit way. I just can't stomach it. I had to be honest with you.
I watched some of it. Of course, we didn't have but 3 channels.
It was
back
hippies,
then.
Odie. It was just hippies is all I can tell you.
Yeah, but I was a hippie.
I know, but there's not one thing that they do that I can relate to. Like Angie was looking at the Facebooker last night. I think it was it may have been Saturday night, and she said this. The caption said, "This line describes your generation." And she read it, and I said, well, somebody's getting married. And it was, dearly beloved, we're gathered. I said, well, that's wedding vows.
Yeah.
And she just stared at me.
Or it could be Prince.
That's what it was. And I said, well, that didn't define my generation. And her and Madison just kind of looked at me. And it did not define my generation. I guess what you could say would describe my generation was it was all I could do to keep from crying.
Yeah, you and Greg both.
David Allen Coe probably defined it. Before I could get to the station in my pickup truck, she got run over by a blanked old train. And you don't have to call me, darling. That defined my generation of the people that I ran with. I mean, you can go anywhere in the United States and say those 2 lines, and everybody in the room is going to start singing. That is defining a generation, I think. Am I close?
Kind of like Caroline.
Sweet Caroline? You can do that with that.
Everybody would jump right on in with that.
He is almost a pretty boy, I'll say that, but he has some great music. I'll give him that. Clay Walker. He doesn't quite move into that category, but his teeth were shining so bright in this picture, we had to almost put him there.
We call him veneers.
Clay Walker, Live Until I Die.
I need to get some of him.
If I could earn a living out of loving you, Alan Jackson actually wrote that, and Clay sang
So
it.
he's the one that sang that.
Yeah,
Okay.
if I could make a living out of loving you, I'd be a millionaire in a day or 2.
Yep.
We go back to 1969. This guy just died. He came to an awful ending because it shows us what drugs will do to you. Just because you're rich doesn't take you apart from you're still going to die if you do stupid things. And I said it that way. Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about that, Odie.
Well, that's about the best way.
This guy was a part, and I get confused over what generation is X, and I don't even know what they all are. But this guy was popular, wasn't he?
It wasn't eggs.
Groucho Marx passed away in 1977 on this date.
Groucho.
What are those generations? Do you even know?
That was like a baby boomer.
Right, but what are they called? Is it Z that's out there now?
Z's out there now. We're Generation X.
Who comes up with this, number one?
I don't know, but they're probably making an awful lot of money.
You ever said anything in your sleep that you might have regretted?
I don't know. I wasn't awake.
Well, if we remember watching Talladega Nights, he wore the shirt, had her name on it, and, well, you've been talking in your sleep. Be careful what you say, because your wife will listen to you, and that's what that whole song was about.
Talking in your sleep. Ooh.
With some sweet, whoo, that was a song.
So Sandy says, the drum solo and Phil Collins in the air. Oh,
I can hear it coming in the edge of night.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And the drum solo in it, where Phil does the drum solo.
Yeah.
Oh, that is an awesome.
I always thought this
video.
line here, don't you worry about my woman or what you think she ought to be, because she's close enough to perfect. Alabama. Boy, and a Mississippian wrote that, if I'm not mistaken, Mac McAnally. Don't you worry about my woman or what you, sometimes, or she may wear her pants too tight. Remember that line? Maybe you don't.
I don't remember that one.
Really? We need to send Odie to school. Ooh, that was some good belly rubbing stuff, as they say, back in the days of Larry's Night Lounge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that just drop their coffee thinking about Larry's.
Good old Larry.
1983, I had totally forgotten about this, but Rodney Dangerfield was at the top of his game during this time period. Anybody remember a movie called Easy Money?
I had to go back and rewatch it.
I want to say that he was a plumber with Joe at the beginning of his brother-in-law, Joe Pisco. How you say it, Joe Pesci?
Joe Pesci. Pesci.
Pesci?
Yeah.
And I said,
golly.
I called him Pissy?
Yeah, it'd be all
Joe, I can't say it.
It's what they do to you in the drive-thru.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go. I remember this Terry Garr was
Yeah.
a beautiful woman. I can remember her. She was one of the most common guests on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. She was a beautiful woman. Y'all remember her and Mr. Mom?
Yeah, I do.
What was his name? Oh, Michael Keaton.
Michael
Batman.
Keaton. Yeah.
Batman.
One of the good Batmans. He was my second favorite Batman.
Michael Keaton. You almost don't hear of him anymore. There was two great songs by this guy, Loving Her and Holding You, and then followed by this. ETC released it today. It would be Once in a Blue Moon, I'll Do Something Right. Whew. That just kind of tells it how it is in case y'all forgot. I'm going to hold a class on this one day.
Oh.
Boy, who didn't watch? I saw a picture of her this week, and I hate that I don't have it. She's 92.
And she still looks good.
She's beautiful. She was headed to lunch this week. Slim, trim, and just beautiful.
Yeah.
Who remembers watching I Love Jeannie with William Henry Rourke?
Yep. He was the
Dr. Bellows.
Dr. Bellows. He was the
Shrink.
shrink there that thought he was crazy a few times.
Yeah. What are the most played songs on a jukebox? And well, we got two of them. There's two of them. One of them was "You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog."
Crying all the time.
There you go. And then
Yep.
of course Patsy Cline made it into that list also. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Those jukeboxes, I fall to pieces.
Crazy.
She
You know who
was
that reminds me of every time I hear it?
Willie.
No?
No, who
Ross Perot.
was that? His theme song? I don't
Well, you know,
remember.
he got up talking about the Democrat Party, and we didn't have technology then that we got now. He had
Right.
that little tape recorder, and he'd say the Democrat Party, and he'd hit play. Crazy.
I hadn't even thought of that. It's been so long
Yeah.
since I saw an interview from him.
He was another one of those that just told it like it was because he
Little-
was a businessman.
A little bitty fellow there that just jumped right up on the stump.
He was a little small guy that was on the run for president of the United States of America,
Yep.
but I
Yep.
liked him.
He took some votes there. He was ahead of his time for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I look back on this. There's two songs that just jump out at me. The second song that is not this one is "I Never Knew Love." That was Doug Stone. I love that one. This group had a song or two called "Church on the Cumberland Road," "Two Dozen Roses." But boy, when this song, I can remember hearing those violins hit when it first come out. Who remembers "Sunday in the South" by Shenandoah? It was 1989 that came out. They can still smell the powder burning and probably always will. They set me up in a barber chair when I was 8 years old.
And I remember that line.
Woo! Good stuff there.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to it today. It'll bring back a memory or two. 1991, I remember the video to this. Alan was very young in it to his career. This was his year 2 into his career. And he had a song come out today. It did reach number 1. It was called "Someday." Had that old 57 Chevy in the front yard. Alan, you need to sell it. No, I'm gonna fix it up one day.
Yeah.
And then all throughout the video, he works on it, and at the end of it, the car is restored. Okay, all right, enough of that, I guess. Back in 95, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. 1995 is when that came about with Brooks and Dunn. Let's see what else happened today. Oh, she went and got a baseball bat on this one. Anybody remember this one? Before he cheats?
Oh, yeah.
She beat up his jacked up four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
What a girl she is. She is a very talented girl. And that kind of takes what all we've got in this day in history. Maybe you remember a few of those things, brings back a smile. We hope so.
Yeah.
We got more, a lot more. We're going to tell you about that big fire that happened just south of Jackson. All that's
Wow.
next.
Yeah.
Meet John. He's on the hunt for the car of his dreams. John calls Adrian, who's ready to assist in making sure John's car buying experience is seamless. With Hyundai of Meridian, your new ride is just a call away. Discover endless possibilities at HyundaiofMeridian.com. Hyundai of Meridian. New thinking, new possibilities.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured. taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
We know you care. But if this is all too real for you and your loved ones, make the call. Because we care too. Home instead. To us, it's personal.
Welcome back. As we mentioned, a fire in Jackson. Let me show y'all this. This was at a tire place.
Yeah, they recycled old tires.
Look at this. This is some kind of fire, and I bet you're glad this ain't Meridian, Mississippi.
Yes, sir, I am. Because that is, we call that a hazmat scene.
Odie, is it true that this possibly may still be burning in Jackson?
Austin said that he thought that it was, and I believe that's not something that you can just put out. You're going to end up maintaining control around it, but that's not real easy to put out. That's a heck of a fire, heck of a deal. At the end of the day, it's going to be a few days burning.
Also, Saturday night, I had gotten back from a couple other things, and I got a call and said, "Hey, did you know that Highway 45 is blocked?" And I said, "What you talking about, Willis?" We had a huge lightning strike Saturday night. Let me pull this up and show you this. This is Wayne County. You know those oil fields?
Yeah.
Oil wells?
Yeah.
One was struck by lightning and it caught fire. If you'll see here in the distance, and that's another one. Let me show you a close-up of that. Let me zoom in on this. Look at that.
Wow. Yeah. And that's probably just crude, but still, I mean, that's not something you want to...
Yeah, that's not something you want to have to go spend your Saturday night doing, but it caught fire, and they finally got that contained. But for safety reasons, they shut down Highway 45, and you had to reroute around it. It was just a little too close, wasn't it?
Terry, you're going to be okay. It is toxic, but it looked like that smoke's going straight up and getting away from everybody, and so it's going to be okay. And then, so Alan says, rest in peace, Scott Bloomquist. And we brought that up right after the show. We got word from national news that Scott Bloomquist had died in a plane crash on his farm. Scott Bloomquist, arguably one of the best super late model race car drivers out there. Dirt track. I mean, he built his own cars, the whole 9 yards. Gonna be missed, whether you loved him, whether you hated him. He was good at what he did. Now, I want to use that for a quick transition in here to a local guy. We just had the Street Stock Nationals over in Why Not Motorsports Park, and people from all over the country came down here. 200 and something cars biting for a spot to win this national race. About 4 weeks ago, a fella named Chad Thrash, everybody knows him, he's got Highway 19 right over here, race shop, and his father. They got in a load of metal, got some metal tubing, got some square stock, and he's decided he was going to build him a car. So he got to working on a car and building, pull that up, that number 33 right there, I believe is which one it is.
Right there?
Let's see if that one's it.
Doesn't have a name on it, but...
Doesn't have a name. No, that's not. And he wouldn't go by 33. Anyway, I think he's 1. He's going to go by 1.
Yeah, I don't know if it's...
Y'all all know him. Chad Thrash got together about 4 weeks ago and started building a car and welding tubes and building tubes and getting it going. And he put that car on the track for the first time. There he is right there.
Right there.
That's going to be it right there. He built that car in about 4 weeks and put it out there on the track, and he dominated all weekend long. And he's won the last, out of 4 years, he's won 3 of those races out there.
That's fantastic.
And that is a huge, big deal. And he also races super late models, and he's good at that too. But congratulations to Chad Thrash and pulling that win out.
We don't know what the deal is. I often joke about Clarke County that People must be bored because the only thing to do is watch fires. Look at this, Odie, as we had a truck fire in Clarke County over the weekend. This would be at County Road 345 and Highway 45. Again, we're calling this a total loss before the insurance company even gets there.
Yeah, just come on Scotty Ray Report, look at the pictures, and you don't even have to travel down.
Boy. Another tragic scene as we look to Clarke County. A home was totally destroyed on County Road 265 there from our friends at Clarke County Hot Topics. I want to say they deemed this a lightning strike. Hit the home.
Wow.
Another reason, if you don't own one, is to have a safe that is fireproof for your valuable papers. Yeah, you know, your wedding, that piece of paper says you're chained for life.
Like yeah.
Put all that in one of those so it won't, in case a fire were to break out. We feel for those of you who are in that community who know Shirtside. We'll be glad to post that of any help that anybody could help out with that.
And insurance. Please have insurance on your home. And if all you do is rent, please have renter's insurance.
Yeah, and there is a lot of people that don't realize that you can have renter's insurance. Yeah. I want to talk about this before we go to a break. I had a chance to go out Saturday. I didn't know this was going to happen. And I do hope, Odie, that we have more of these. You were a guest speaker there.
Yeah, this is, so J.J. Anders and Mr. Wink, they saw a need to do this. And you can go online, and these kids could do this online. But they wanted to try and do something in person and see what the word of mouth was. And I think 54 kids or something like that showed up at the First Baptist Church and went through to get their hunter's certification or their safety certification. It was a wonderful time.
Well, y'all show grinning because you know there's hamburgers over there.
You got that right. That was something. But Mr. Anders called and said, "Hey, can you talk?
Can you talk without your hands?"
No, sir, I can't.
Either.
That's why I've got a pen in my hand now to keep my fingers busy. But it was wonderful to go sit down with these kids and see them go through this. And plans get bigger when you see successful things, and it's coming. Next year's definitely going to be another one. But looking at possibly doing something with boating in between. So, great organization for these kids to be part of to get going in their hunting. So, we'll let you know the next one is. That was just a test trial.
Yep.
And I think the test was a success.
It was. We'll be right back. More to come of local events, plus birthdays, and also we'll have you a Bible verse for the day, something to look forward to. We'll be right back.
Tired of buying cars with no warranty? Are you worried about your car breaking down? Come see us at Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, the only dealership in Meridian that gives you a 7-year unlimited mileage powertrain warranty on qualified new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Buy with confidence. We'll take care of you for 7 years, new and used, at Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Bittersweet Crossroads in downtown Enterprise has new hours for summer. Monday through Friday, 8 until 5 p.m. and Saturday, 9 until 5 p.m. A great sandwich shop where they make their own honey mustard. Come try a sub or wrap today. They make some of the best homemade frozen custard with hot fudge drizzle. For specialty coffee, frozen custard, sandwiches, and ice cream, it's Bittersweet Crossroads, Highway 11 South, downtown Enterprise. 601-453-4009. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Rick. We had a boo-boo. We don't know who's at fault. We're just going to show you the aftermath of what went on. A police car was involved in an auto accident this weekend there at close to the Texas turnaround there. Tahoe just kind of climbed right up on top of the patrol car there.
That's going to leave a mark.
I think so. They were able to drive the Tahoe away and had to have Lewis come pick up the little patrol car there and haul it off. But no injuries involved with that. That's good. I think everybody was checked out to make sure everybody was okay. I think that's precautionary anytime that a police officer is involved in anything.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the way that works.
That's it.
So
Terry said, my 16-year-old son wants to be a cop when he grows up. Is there a ride-along program that he can participate in? So I'm going to say there was, and I'm sure they've still got something, but they do have the cadets that they can be a part of, and it teaches them what the police go through and all that, and it does come with a ride-along so they can get a feel from it.
Okay.
So definitely get with Meridian Police Department, because I know they did at one time and not too long ago, because Keith Moody was over that. And that may be who we need to talk to, and I'll try and get in touch with him. But they do have a cadet, so people can see what it's like at 16. And if your school should have a program, I think it's in all Lauderdale County schools now, that deals with emergency response and all, to get a heads up on that. So check in that with your school, and definitely get up with Keith Moody with Meridian Police Department, and they can definitely get you situated with that.
Well, the band was out doing full marches this weekend as they washed cars to raise money there. Meridian High School band were selling hot dogs over at the Walmart, and then they were washing cars here downtown Meridian. Done a great job. Stopped by and visited with them.
Wildcats aboard.
And they were set up there, and they were washing them left and right there.
Getting it done, getting it clean.
A big thank you to everybody that came by and had that done. We also had some barbecue plates that benefit the barbecue with the volunteer fire department out in Why Not. As we go there, a few folks there also came out to support, get some barbecue plates at Why Not.
They sent a thank you this morning on here, and I hadn't had a chance to read that out. But there was a thank you that was posted this morning for everybody that came out. Sold over 400 plates.
That's wonderful.
That is great for the community out there.
So I hope you got to do that, and they'll do more. We'll pass that information along to you when that does happen there. All right, Odie, we need to do some birthdays. We had a few people call in birthdays and anniversaries this morning.
Yes, we did. We definitely had some birthdays, and of course it's Monday, so we had to do a catch up on that as well. But we're going to get on here and get this party started for everybody, because we got quite a few to get going. So Saturday, we had Meridian PD's own Kristen Lotta celebrating her birthday Saturday.
We got an age on that?
No, I think 29.
Keeping it hid, huh? The 29 again.
Not sure. I don't know.
I hope everybody wishes her a happy
I may have
birthday.
messed up. She's going to kick me because she looks younger than 29.
Well, I'm glad it's you.
I'm hiding today. Hunter Morgan had a birthday Saturday. Jenna Reed also Saturday. Greg Summerlin had a birthday Sunday, along with Angela Wright Grace. Bowman Brown Jr. had a birthday Sunday. And then today, James Hall, Terry Davidson, Tommy Horn, Charles Van Doren, 79 years young. Shine Odin Pogue having a birthday today.
How old is Shine?
Didn't say.
Really?
Make sure. Jamie, you better take care of your mama. It's her birthday. David Lee, I know he's out there watching, having a birthday today. And then yesterday had a special birthday for Mildred Aycock, 96 years
Oh, that's just
young.
sweet.
Winnie Bartley, 88 years young today. And Easton Miller had a birthday, is having a birthday today. He's 13.
That's getting on up there.
Now you just hit the teen, and responsibilities just doubled.
I didn't look at it that way, but you're right.
Yeah. So I didn't cut the volumes down on that. And what we got, well, look at here. Mildred Aycock, 96 years young today, is the winner of the Scotty Ray Report Hyundai of Meridian coffee mug. And now she can start watching the show and drinking coffee out of her coffee mug. And happy birthday.
Well, we brought this up a minute ago, and I found the picture. I Dream of Jeannie. She's getting ready to turn 93.
Yeah.
Daily Mail snapped a picture of her. She was out to lunch. I want y'all to see this. Look at this. Does she not look good? That's her there on the left. She's just absolutely stunning after all these years of I Dream of Jeannie. What an actress she is. I think she has one son, but a beauty she is, and just still glad to have her around.
Definitely.
She's our next Betty Davis.
I want to say,
what do you want to say?
and I saw it on here, somebody brought this up, and there it is, Shannon brought this up to remember we lost Jerry Jean Jordan Jr. Sr. yesterday morning, early yesterday morning. A great friend, great brother. Definitely going to miss him. He was part of our military, and then retired from Meridian Police Department. An awesome officer. A lot of people may remember him the first time Meridian PD started getting horses back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Jerry Jean rode the horses, took care of them, but he was definitely a wonderful officer, served his country and his city with honor, and it was an honor to be a brother and a friend to him. So prayers go out to his entire family.
Yes.
For Jerry Jean Jordan Jr. Sr. So had to say that part.
A lot of J's up in there.
Yes, it is.
We need to leave you with a good message, as we always do, as we turn to the Bible. We need some words there, Bible verse. What we got today, Odie?
We're going to go with James 5, verse 13. Is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing psalms. You know, you've got kids, and you always wish that they'd call you. Grandkids, you'd like to talk to them just to see how their day's going. Well, God wants to hear from us, his children. And all we've got to do is talk to him any time of the day, and he's going to sit there and listen. We can give him all our woes, or we can let him know we thank him for all our joys. Whatever you do, say a prayer. Start your day off. You don't have to kneel down when you want to give thanks or ask for something, a blessing in your life. You can do it driving down the road. You can do it while you're taking a shower. It doesn't matter. The Lord's always listening, and he's always there to give us advice and to take care of us in our time. But definitely fall to your knees and look at him and give him praise, because he deserves it. Hope you have a wonderful Monday. Have a great start of this new week. Until tomorrow, we'll see you then. Always remember, we love you.